Hello, my fellow super nerd friends, Haley and Alexis. This is Becky, and welcome to Tuesday. I have a lot of things to say today, so I'm doing this early in the day because if I do it later, then I will have even more things to say. I've been going on a couple of Joanna's projects with her. So on Saturday, the day after VBS, we went to Bellevue Square with 7 middle schoolers and did random acts of kindness, which I didn't know until like that day that I was doing, and we hadn't really brainstormed any random acts of kindness, so it was kind of mostly awkward, and we spent 2 hours doing it, so but it was okay. They kind of held doors open for people, and then like in the second half we had $20, and so we went to Baskin Robbins and McDonald's and like paid for the next people sort of, but then we left before we could see their reaction. So yeah, but that was cool. Joanna and I hung out in Bellevue Square after that, and I got this awesome houndstooth headband. So yes, at Fuego. Fuego also has a ton of Venus flytraps right now. I used to have one of them, but they're really hard to feed because they close kind of slowly, and usually a fly will just like walk across it and close all the traps and, you know, fly away unharmed. So you're going to have to catch a fly and not kill it and feed it to the Venus fly. It's very difficult. Mine died, so I didn't get one of those. On Sunday, apparently our associate pastor, Pastor Wes, has been doing a Bible study, and my parents have been going to that. I'm not sure why I didn't know about this, because I've been going with them to church. But somehow I haven't been to any of his Bible studies, and it was like a small group, and Sunday was the last day, and it was smaller than it ever had been. It was just my family and Pastor Wes. But that was nice. We talked about the end of Mark's Gospel, and it was interesting because like the day before I saw this thing on Facebook that said the whole part where Jesus comes back was added at the end. Like Mark didn't even write that. Mark wrote like Jesus died, the end, and then someone else added afterwards, and then he came back. So it was like really interesting. But then we kind of talked about that. Not in depth, but it was the same story that we were doing on Thursday of VBS, which is Jesus coming back, I guess, and how like people didn't recognize him, like when he came to, when he appeared to Mary and Martha, they didn't recognize him, and when he appeared on the shore to the disciples, they didn't recognize him. So we're like, why didn't they recognize him? And I was like, obviously, if you've watched Supernatural, he's in a different vessel. Come on. But of course, I couldn't say that. So, I mean, and like when they opened the tomb, it was empty, so you'd think that he would be able to use the same body. So I kind of said, well, maybe he got a haircut and new robes and it wasn't dusty anymore. And Pastor West laughed at that. Yes! Yeah! The reason why this would be longer if I did it later in the day is because I'm doing another thing with Joanna, and we're going to go see Brave with the middle schoolers. Yes! So my mom is talking to me through the door. Yeah, we're going to get frozen yogurt and see Brave. So, that'll be fun. Okay! Good grief. Also, he was talking about maybe the reason why people didn't recognize him was something to do with faith, so that they would recognize him by his actions and not his appearance, and that was designed, and I don't know, but his point was kind of like seeing isn't believing, believing is seeing, and I'm like, that's the theme of the Santa Claus. But so that was kind of cool. It kind of made me. We talked about the Book of Concord, which I'm not entirely sure what century that was mostly compiled in, but it's kind of like discussions between the church, well, the church about, I don't know, concord means peace, apparently. So that seemed interesting, and I might, like, read through the Bible, just because I think that would be a worthwhile thing to do, because I don't know all that much about it, I guess. Like, I'm at this weird point right now where, like, I'm familiar with church and being Lutheran, but I'm also very far removed from it because I don't believe any of it. So I'd like to learn more about it, but keep my perspective. I think I'm in a pretty good place to learn more about it, I guess. So we'll see if I actually devote time to that, or if I just keep wasting time doing other things. We'll see. I think that would be a good thing. I have a lot of books too that I bought and never read for my English class, and that essay about God versus science. So I have a few Christian books and a few atheist books, so I'd like to work my way through those. I think that would be fascinating. Without making this too long, Alexis, you were talking about Beta being stupid, and of course, if Joanna and I call Hannah stupid, Mom and Dad are like, "How could you say that? She's adorable." But it has happened a couple times now. She's not the best at jumping. Pugs generally aren't the best at jumping. Her balance is a bit better. Her ear infection was gone, but today she went into the vet and it's coming back. So that's unfortunate. But her balance it's as good as it's ever been. But sometimes she's running up towards the couch and she forgets to jump somehow, and so she just kind of face plants into the couch. I mean, it's most pets, if they try to jump and they're unsuccessful, like they make it up but they kind of scrabble, but no, she just slams into the couch. So John and I are trying to call her Errol. So that's hilarious. So it's always hilarious when you have just Hannah and Sam. They are cute. Oh, Alexis, you were talking in the Diamond Age. You said it's strange that they still exercise. Shouldn't there be a pill for, like, being fit? And there is. That's what they were talking about at the beginning. It's just probably the Victorians don't want to use it because they like real newspaper and they like, you know, doing things. They like real fabric with threads. So they probably want to do, like, real exercising, you know. But Bud had little micro things in his muscles which would just always, like, make them twitch and just build muscle mass. Just as he was, you know, sitting or walking around, they would just be there moving his muscles a little bit, and he said it made him feel kind of twitchy, but made him buff. So, you know, I really love how in this book every technology has its pros and its cons. So, yeah, I haven't read it in a while now, but glad you're enjoying it a little bit more, Alexis. I haven't been reading actual books in a while, I guess, which is kind of a shame. I still want to finish the Night Watch trilogy. I still haven't even reread the first one again. Yes, and about my essays, this one has to be in, I have to mail it in on Friday, the 20th. And then the next one has to be in, just emailed in by the 31st. So, but 3 days for me to do this. I finally finished the Princess de Cleves, and I'm trying to organize everything that's happened and come up with a topic now, so hopefully that will be done soon. Joanna and I just finished season 4 of Supernatural, so now we're on my favorite season, which is season 5, which is wonderful, because Castiel is actually one of the main characters and not a guest. Misha Collins isn't a guest star, so there's lots of Cass. Tons of Comic-Con news. Haley, you were talking a bit about Korra news, but I mean there's also a ton of Supernatural stuff for Season 8, and a ton of Merlin stuff, and a ton of Doctor Who stuff, so I'm going to be going through that for the next couple of weeks. Just so many interviews, and it's exciting. Yes. They said they're actually going to address the relationship between Dean and Castiel, because a lot of fans ship them. They're going to either address that or put an end to it. So we will see. I guess that's all I have to say. This wasn't all that short, but it would have been longer if I'd done it later, because I'd be talking about Brave and frozen yogurt and all the chaos that will ensue later today. So I hope you guys have a really, really excellent Tuesday. And Alexis, I'm sorry I missed your call last night. I don't know where I was. I thought I was right here with my phone when you rang, but apparently not. So maybe I will talk to you guys later. And with that, goodbye.